Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Counselor's Office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and we are live. That's right, we're doing a react, but we're doing it live. I'm mixing it up for your beautiful faces. We are live, the Counselor's Office. Today, we're talking about what everyone's talking about, Concord. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't amongst the people that was heavily invested in this game for both reasons, whether people liked it or whether people didn't like it. But even I was very well aware that this game was going to die, and it did. This game absolutely died. We're going to read what PlayStation has to say. It is very telling when they disable the comments because they know they done cooked. And after we talk, read it, I do want to talk about what people are saying about canceling games. Let's just jump into it. I have not read this, so we're doing live. I am going to restructure it so you guys can see it fully. Boom, boom, there it is. All right, an update on Concord. Concord fans, we've been listening closely to your feedback since the launch of Concord on PlayStation 5 and PC, and want to thank everyone who joined the journey aboard the North Star. Your support and the passionate community that has grown around the game has meant the world to us. Which, didn't they technically, if I remember correctly, they released it, but then they pulled it back because they said, oh, it's not ready? Didn't they do that? So this is the second time they pulled this game? Okay. However, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognize that other aspects of the game in our initial launch didn't land the way we intended. Therefore, at this time, we've decided to take the game offline beginning September 6th, so tomorrow, get your games in, and explore options, including those that will better reach our players. While we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately, and we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased the game for PS5 or PC. If you purchase the game for PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation Store or PlayStation Direct, a refund will be issued back to your original payment method. Customers who purchase from the original storefronts will also be refunded. More information about refunds from Steam and Epic can be found below. Epic Game Stores. Epic Game Stores will be refunded. Well, we'll refund players who bought the game over the coming days and will contact each customer directly to confirm that the refund has been processed. That's not a lot of people to contact. I'm sorry. I am sorry, but let's be honest. It's not a lot of people to have to contact. They literally said only 25K bought this game. So if you think about the split, how many people really bought on Epic? Probably 5 dudes, or five dudes and 1 chick, or whatever. Other retail refunds for customers who have purchased a physical copy at a retailer location outside of PlayStation directly. Please refer to the refund process of the retailer you purchased it. Yeah, if you got this from Walmart, you're screwed. If it's open, they won't take it back. They'll let you exchange it for something of the same. Don't buy your games at Walmart, especially if you're not for sure if it's a good game. Just never do it. Never buy it from Walmart, ever. Once refunded, players will no longer have access to the game. Well, that's kind of what happens. Are you telling people that they would if they didn't get a refund? I mean, I guess people right now have access to it if they bought it, but you won't once they refund, which kind of is what happens when you shut down. We'll keep you updated, and thank you again to all the free gunners who have joined us in the Concord galaxy. So, there's been a lot of back and forth between people on, like I said, on Twitter. If we look at Concord, I'm just curious what we see. Let's just kind of see what we got. I'm sorry, but Concord is so bad that R3 artists don't even want to touch it. Rip Concord. This revamp was super quick, drawn on the bus ride home. Some people enjoyed it. This update, Owen Sears has heard in complaints about Concord and ignored them. Source tells me internal emails show the Concord team is shrugging off the criticism of their characters as white noise and dismissing it very much in their own. Y'all on both sides of this culture war nonsense always fail to realize how small you guys are. Talking about 44K dislikes like their market doesn't consist of millions of players. The terminally online from both sides do not matter. Entirely insignificant. I think to an extent, he's right. The culture war, I don't think was the problem. I think like a lot of people, the thing that I saw where people like, this is what happens when your game has DIE or done by the one play, what is it? Sweet Baby. Like that's been floating around. It's your game is woke. It's going to die. I'm just going to go out on a limb. I think people who are over fantasizing about wokeness and DI, I think you're giving too much credit to developers. No, not credit, but you're giving them too much like freedom to pass the blame to that being the reason why the game didn't do well. Sometimes games are just garbage. They don't need to be like, oh, they have DIE or Sweet Baby influence or whatever, like diversity wokeness. Sometimes they're just ass. So we can just agree that sometimes games are just ass, and that's why they don't do well. Right? Let's not try to give these developers like, it's not you, honey. It's just what you believe in. No. You made a crap game. That's it. You made a boring, unfun game. Like, you could be all woke and still make a good game. That's fun. But fundamentally, if the foundation of it is just boring, no one cares. And I know I saw people are like, it's such a great game. You guys don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't believe that because the market is a free market and the consumer chooses. If a game is not good, they're not going to consume it. Not only that, but Concord came out and its competition was like Overwatch and I think Marvel Avengers. And it's a $40 price tag compared to free to play. Not to say that free to play is more bang for your buck, and it hurts my soul that something that apparently the skins and stuff were earnable in game versus like a store. I just think if you have stiff competition and you don't bring much to the table, why would someone spend $40 when they can have something of the same or equal or near equal quality for free? Because there's a lot of free to play players that never spend a dime on a free game. They essentially put that $40 in their pocket and they're good. Again, what's even worse is that the developers are kind of douchebags. Like, I believe the whole white noise. These people seem like douchebags. Especially one of them coming out and talking about how people criticizing the game. And then I've seen some people that were genuine criticizing it were called talentless freaks. That's how you get people to buy your game. You might as well dump gasoline on your head while they light a fire on you. Just do it. I don't understand game developers where they attack the customer. You are stupid as hell and you deserve to fail. And people are like, I can't believe you guys are celebrating this game doing bad. People are losing their jobs. Listen, as consumers, I don't feel like I can be empathetic, but I don't feel bad. It is not your job, my job as a consumer to make sure that we put food on someone else's table. It is not your job to keep someone employed. Because if you didn't do your job, I didn't do my job, we would be fired. Who's going to support us? Like, I'm sorry. Game development may be hard, but so is other jobs. Do you think a doctor who saves lives, if he screwed up his job and someone died, you think he's going to get a free pass? No. Yes, and there's going to be someone who's going to be like pretentious, be like, oh, but you're talking about life and death. That's different. And then we're talking about a job, a career. And sometimes a career is life or death, especially if you are stuck on the street without food. it can be life or death. But let's not try to like minimize the fact that we as consumers have power. You go what you want to play with. As consumers, if something's not good, you're not going to play it. That's simple. When developers attack gamers, that not only does that enforce the people who are in the wrong, like the negatives, like the small percentage of people who are like, oh, they've got the pitchforks. They're on the witch hunt for wokeness. When you go and call people talented freaks who have like actual logical feedback and criticism for your game, not only are you causing those normal people to not stand with you, you are giving more fire to the people who are actively trying to hunt you down. You're just helping them. Again, just dump gasoline on your head because that's what you're doing. You're literally helping set the fire. Let's continue. GameStop is wild for this. Yeah, it's so bad that you have GameStop getting random W's. Was nice to get out of the house and leave the internet behind a bit. Did a bit of shopping and finally bought Concord. Can't play until Saturday, but looking forward to trying it out. GameStop, I have some bad news for you. You were the ones that sold it to me. Whoops, nothing here. Like, this could have saved Concord. I mean, like, listen, as someone who plays the First Ascendant that has big titty girls, I don't care. Now, do I want to look at Moby Dick either? No, I don't care for Moby Dick or big titty Bertha. I don't care for both. But if you do, that's good on you, right? I'm always for it has no impact on me. I just want gameplay to be good. And this is one of those cases. If it was a good game, yet you had Moby Dick over here, then that's fine. Like, who cares? If the gameplay's good. But it wasn't. Again, gameplay bad, game is bad. Simple as enough. Like, I play old games that look worse than new gen games, yet the gameplay is so much better that I don't even care about the graphics. Rip Concord. This is the final ultimate comparison between Asian and Western games. It should be featured every game panel and article to show that Western games need saving ASAP. Haley from The Last Ascendant versus female Molly from Concord. Listen, I do think there is a grain of truth to this. There's a reason why people like games like this versus games like this. It's all about your target audience. And let's be honest. One of the big issues that I have with new generation gaming is that people try to act like there's more of a population than white men. There's not. Majority of your gamers are, one, men, but secondly, white men. So if you're trying to target something that isn't amongst that, you're going to get a smaller demographic, which means you're going to get a smaller pool of players and you're going to get less money. Now, if you're okay with that, pop off, King. But if you are trying to make money, you're trying to sell a product, if you are not focused on the larger population demographic, you are going to set yourself up for failure. That's how it is. I don't make the rules. It's a free market. It's not just America. Literally across the world, people are making the choice not to play this game. That's why it's dead. Days Gone 2 will never happen as Sony wasn't a fan. Sony wasn't a fan, says director. You're laughing, Concord just died and you're laughing. Okay. People need standards. Shouldn't give Elden Ring such a high score, says the account that defends Concord. Too many bugs at launch. Elden Ring was such a buggy mess at launch just to get a stable frame rate. You needed to play the PS4 version on PS5. Game reviews need standards. then the same person, you think Paul Tassi will post Concord's PlayStation performance or nah? It's currently 4 on PlayStation 4. Congratulations. I need that Wasteland arc. You say Guardians, I say Beboop. One off and Lennox ain't gonna lie, looking like a banger. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get people that clearly they're gonna fondle the balls of one game and then they're gonna complain. They're gonna dish on another one, right? Let's be honest. I mean, I have nothing much to say outside of here's a game that people wanted to fail and it succeeded because it was a good game. Here's a game that people wanted to fail and it failed because it wasn't a good game. Imagine that. Concord, 8 years to develop, 100 million budget spent, 700 copies sold, everyone hates it. Wukong, 4 years to develop, made by 30 people. They were all childhood friends or met in university. 15 million copies sold, 700 million in revenue, loved by most people. What can you learn? They made a game that was focused on a demographic of people who actually wanted to buy the game and actually looked at the larger population versus a small pocket. I know it's going to upset someone, but if you focus on a small demographic, you're going to get a small demographic. And I hate to tell game developers out there, I'm not a game developer, and your job may be hard, but it's no harder than anyone else's. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you. Most people who like video games are predominantly male, and a good portion of them are white. Now you know. I'll be honest. I don't have a lot of say in this. I did not care about Concord. I also don't care about Myth Wukong. I'm glad it's a good game and I'm glad people enjoy it. I'm glad that Concord's gone because it wasn't targeted to anyone who wanted. Like, learn from the good. Like, people continue making the Elden Ring excuse, like, oh, Elden Ring is just too much of a standard that people can't pull off. Yet you see it with Power World, massive success. Obviously, it's a single player, multiplayer option. And it's also early access. Wukong, single player game, massive success. Then you have the live service garbage or multiplayer garbage, and it's already dead. Again, I have nothing else to add to this. It's always just baffling that everyone's arguing and no one's really targeting the main problem. Game developers are either playing too safe or they're just greedy. And they're making garbage, or they're just stupid and they're pushing their agenda. That does happen. But I do think people hyper focus too much on that, and they're not really focusing on bad game is just bad game. That's the simple truth. I'm a simple guy, and I keep it simple. Bad game is just bad game. Until next time, I'm Mr. Game Counselor. Hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe to the channel for more. As always, game out.